Live from Camp Briteside in Georgetown, Texas, this is the Eagle Nation Coaches Show with head coach Chuck Griffin. Camp Briteside, located at 8701 Rural Route 2338 or Williams Drive in Georgetown, Texas, is the host of this year's show. And now, here's the voice of your Georgetown Eagles, Wally Harmon. And we welcome you. Good evening. The Eagle Nation Coaches Show live from Camp Briteside in Georgetown, Texas. Fall weather is here. It is beautiful out here. A little windy, but fall football weather is here. It's going to carry over for us for the weekend. I obviously am not Wally Harmon. I'm Kelly Duvall alongside Holden Tuma. Wally's out tonight, so we're covering for him. We'll miss him, but should be back next week. And we'll definitely be here Friday for the ball game against the Lake Belton Broncos. We'll talk about that later. Big win this past Friday night. It accomplished a couple of the checklists on the sheet. We lock in a playoff spot, and the next step continues. A 57?
Oh, man, didn't do his research.
What's the score?
You don't know the score of the last week's game?
Just say it.
57-14.
57-14. I knew it. See, I said 57. You just stand there looking at me like
I was waiting for you to finish.
57-14. I was actually watching on an airplane on the way home. Wasn't able to be there for the game last week, but big victory by these Eagles over a gritty team, but a team that just couldn't quite keep up the pace. Started off a little bit slow, but then the offense kicked in. Defense did what this defense has done for most of the season and just dominated the game.
It's really been an impressive week stretch for this defense in particular. They have shut out their last two opponents in the first half. They let one touchdown in the start of the second half and then shut them out the rest of the way. The other Glenn touchdown was a kick return touchdown, so not really against the defense there. But like you said, a great win against an opponent that you often see a letdown moment. You see a team that doesn't have a win, and the team goes in there and they don't play up to their par. They don't play up to the level that is expected of them. And Georgetown had maybe two drives where they needed to get in the flow, but once they found their rhythm, they hit their stride running and got a big-time win.
On paper, home, away, home, but in reality, this team has played 3 straight games at GISD Athletic Complex. Now a true road game back to Lake Belton coming up this week. But in this game on Friday, we saw the potential, and we talked about it before the football game, the potential for a letdown. Because on paper, you're looking at the standings, and you can't help but look at the standings, but no letdown at all. And I think you got to start talking about this defense in this victory last week against the Grizzlies.
And that defense has really been led by Tennyson Dean these past 2 games. He's had 4 sacks, 6 sacks if you include intentional groundings. He had 2 of those against Glenn. I mean, he has just been a menace from the defensive line. And this D-line has really allowed this entire defense to come into form. Because they're getting so much pressure, they haven't allowed anybody to run on them very successfully. It's given the other side of the defense, a lot of young faces back there, time to kind of mold into the players that they need to be for this team to exceed at the highest level. And that's really what's allowed the defense to take shape. The defensive line has just been almost unblockable week in, week out.
As complex as offenses have gotten recently in the past few years, we see it high school, college, pro level, the complexity of the offense, it still boils down to the simplistic form of this game. And that starts at controlling the point of attack. And both of these lines have been successful at doing that the past few weeks. Offensive line, just phenomenal. Really got their legs underneath them. At the beginning of the season, there was a little bit of concern about the lack of experience on the offensive line. But they have pushed that to the side. Now this O-line is really controlling that point of attack.
Yeah, absolutely. This past game against Glenn, the running backs were averaging over 13 yards a carry, and that was because of a lot of cap buster, big explosive plays. 86-yard touchdown run by Weston Stewart. Jet Walker had 50-yard, 64-yard touchdown runs. These guys were just breaking massive ones, and it wasn't that they were making 8 guys miss to do it. They were getting to the second level, and no one had even touched them yet because the offensive line was creating such massive gaps. They were able to accelerate, and then when those running backs get a full head of steam, they're just so tough to stop.
Really tough to stop, and all three of them are doing just a phenomenal job. And again, it starts with the O-line. Of course, Caleb McDougal running this offense like the veteran that he is, the junior quarterback just in control of this offense. Really, really good. They've been very stingy in giving the ball away, so that hasn't been a big issue. Talk about the offense and what you've seen in the offense this season.
I've really seen a lot of maturity from that offense. Yeah. There's been moments where something isn't working, but there's no panic. There's been something where something else isn't working. Maybe the run game's a little slower, but there's no panic. You never sense the fact that the offense is kind of just desperate to find answers, and they're throwing everything at the wall and nothing's sticking. They have the mental maturity. If they go 3 and out, they can regroup on that sideline, figure it out, make the adjustments, and next time out, they have a different look where they find more success. There's never a sense that I'm getting where this offense is just desperate to find an answer that's going to elude them the entire game. We've had maybe at most 2 drives where the offense has just been a little stuttering, but they find their rhythm very quickly in these ball games. And once they find their rhythm, they score in bunches.
And we've seen that a lot.
Yes.
Past 3 games, really, we've seen this offense just crank it up. Of course, we talk a lot about the running game and the specialists, but again, I keep going back to that front 5 on that offensive line just dominating when they need to. And they're going to need to this week. Against Belton. Friday night, we'll be at Tiger Stadium in Belton, Texas to take on the Lake Belton Broncos. Be a very interesting game. We'll have a conversation with the coach about that game coming up as well. But a little bit tougher test this week. One of the teams in the hunt for a playoff spot in 5A Division I District 8. And now the playoff seedings are really starting to shake out. But the one thing that we already do know is Georgetown has locked in a playoff spot again. So we will be in the playoffs, but more goals to obtain, one game at a time, one play at a time, as Coach always talks about. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll bring head coach Chuck Griffin up, have a conversation with Coach, and then a little bit later we'll be talking with Malachi Miller and then Jet Walker. So those will be our player interviews for tonight, and then we'll wrap it up with trivia and a conversation with Jeremy McDougal, the president of the Booster Club. So stick with us, folks. We will be back for the Eagle Nation Coaches Show right after this. Live from Camp Briteside in Georgetown, Texas, this is the Eagle Nation Coaches Show with head coach Chuck Griffin. Camp Briteside, located at 8701 Rural Route 2338 or Williams Drive in Georgetown, Texas, is the host of this year's show. And now, here's the voice of your Georgetown Eagles, Wally Harmon. And we welcome you back to the Eagle Nation Coaches Show live from Camp Briteside in beautiful Georgetown, Texas. Great weather. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate
Thanks
you
for
being here.
Kelly. Thanks,
so, big win last week over the Glen Grizzlies.
Yeah.
Checked off one of those boxes that you want to check off of
Yep.
securing that playoff spot, but the work's not done yet.
No, we got a lot of work yet to do, but securing the playoff spot and taking care of that is really big. So super proud of our kids for being able to do that, and now we just turn our attention to Lake Belton and trying to get another win this week.
When you go into a game like this game last Friday against Glen, there maybe as a coaching staff, I don't know, we haven't even talked about it, but maybe as a coaching staff, kind of worry about a potential for a letdown.
Oh, sure, yeah. You're worried coming off a big emotional win like Eastview, and then going to a game they're not very good. Their record is not very good, I should say. You worry about a trap game, and just kind of getting lost on what's going on and getting eyes too far down the road, those kind of things, So we talked a lot about that this week, and we talked a lot about Glenn. Like if you watch the game, those first 2 series they came out in a different defense with a different plan that we had not seen, and it took us a couple of series to get going offensively, and kudos to Coach Crosskoff for being able to figure that out and do that, and it was we knew that kind of stuff was going to go on, so we had to pay attention and get ourselves ready to go.
Well, once they figured out what Glenn was trying to do defensively, they really knock that dust off, and
Yeah,
the
for sure,
offense starts performing, defense just crushing it. Let's talk about the offense a little bit first. And you folks will hear some of this in the pregame interview, but we talked about the offensive line and how much they have matured. Talk about those guys up front on offense.
Man, just they're really coming together at the right time, and they're healthy and they're playing good, so I just couldn't be more proud of those. And Sam and Caden on the outside are doing a great job, and Ryan inside. Ryan was our player of the game. Just being able to adjust 2 different 4-man fronts and a 3-man front, which we knew we were going to see, and be able to do that. He did a tremendous job communicating who's going where and who's doing what. And then, and Caleb and AJ and inside on guards are just growing up and getting better as they go. And so just excited how well they're playing.
The specialist on the offense, of course, we're very fortunate. You're very fortunate as a coaching staff. You've got so many weapons at the receiver position, at the running back position. Defenses have seemed to kind of step up to try to stop the run, but it opens up the pass game.
Yeah.
And all of the specialists play hard regardless of whether the ball's coming to them or not. How important is that?
Yeah, I mean, they're doing a great job just being unselfish and playing and just spreading the ball around. Well, we've got guys catching the ball from all different positions during the week and during each game, and that's good. That makes it, if we were trying to throw the ball to one guy all the time, then that's pretty easy to stop. But being able to spread it around and throw it at different positions and move guys around and throw it to them, that sure helps us out. So those guys are doing a really good job of that.
What's the advantage of having these 3 separate running backs who are all so capable with the ball in their hands?
Well, I think the advantage is health, just having guys that, I don't remember exactly. I think we had 36 carries the other night. So if one guy had 36 carries, he's probably not practicing much this week, So being able to spread that out amongst 3 guys, that allows and it helps with longevity as the season goes on.
And in regards to that longevity, in a game with Glenn where you're up late, you're big late, what is the mindset of how quickly to take some starters out of the game? Is it a matter of score, time left?
That all depends. It depends on the situation, and we don't have a full 2 deep, so you can't just take a full 2 deep and just replace everybody. You can't do that. We don't have that. So you've got to kind of do it in cycles and get guys in the game that are performing well and practicing hard that might not get a much chance other times. And so it all kind of depends on the game situation and what's going on.
Defensive side of the ball, the defense just attacks. Lots of hats to the football. They do a really good job of shutting down what teams normally would like to do and takes them out of their game plan. Talk about the front 7 on this defense and the job they've done.
Man, they're really growing up as well and getting better. And we're concerned about that a little bit. AJ had some playing time and Jesse maybe a little bit last year, and Tennyson, of course, was a starter, but like that was kind of it. Cole on the outside, and so we were worried about that. But those guys, we kind of searched for some linebackers, and we're playing 4 guys in there pretty regular, and man, those guys are just growing up and getting better as we go. And man, they do a good job. They're hard to block. We don't have quite as much speed as we did last year there, but we do have some guys that are playing extremely hard and extremely well.
Especially in the defensive backfield without the speed that you had last year. It's so important that they're taking the right angles.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're getting good pressure on the quarterback, which helps us in the back end. And those guys are growing up too. Cade had a good bit of playing time last year, and then JD has stepped in, and Reagan has stepped in there, and Jihad has held down his own and done a good job. So those guys are growing and getting better as well.
So this week, travel up to Belton Tiger Stadium, take on Lake Belton Broncos, one of the teams that's in contention for a playoff spot. They're going to be fighting for their lives. Yeah. As far as that goes, what are you looking for out of Lake Belton?
They're a good football team. They've got a lot of kids. They're a big program. They'll be 6A this next realignment. So they're a growing school and growing program. And they've got a couple of really dangerous receivers. They've got a guy that's going to Baylor next year. They've got a guy that's got SEC offers. So they're really dangerous, offensively. They got a little quarterback issue. The quarterback got hurt, had a season-ending injury, and you hate to hear that anytime that happens. A couple of weeks ago, and so they're searching a little bit at quarterback. I think they've kind of settled on a younger kid. They got a senior that plays a little bit too, but they've settled on a sophomore, and so they're a little bit unknown because we really have only seen 2 games of what's happening, and they're trying to figure out who they are. I don't think they're changing much. I think they're going to do what they do. But you worry about that a little bit with the new quarterback of how it's going to develop. And how that's going to go. Offensively, they're big up front. They're a big 4-man front, and they do a good job running the ball. They play some man coverage in the back end, so they have an extra hat up there and try to make it hard running the football.
So you mentioned Kelly mentioned that this team is fighting for their playoff lives at this point.
Yeah.
Coming off that Cedar Park loss, going back home now, how do you prep this team for the energy that you know Lake Belton is going to be playing with?
Yeah, I mean, you just prep them. Our deal is just we want to get better every week, and we don't want to look too far down the road, but we want to look, hey, where we are and what we have the opportunity to do, and to get where we want to get, to play 2 rounds, to play 3 rounds, to continue to do that, then we got to get better every week, right? So the next obstacle in the way is Lake Belton. The obstacle is the way. So you've got to go through and play Lake Belton and do a really good job.
Coach, it's just unbelievable. I had no idea when you said it. Lake Belton's going to be 6A next year. They haven't even been playing varsity football that long, have they?
I think 4 years varsity, and then 2 years as a underclass. I think that could be 6 in a couple of years, but something like that, yeah.
Right. That's incredible. Man, this whole area is just exploding.
Yep.
Just the growth. Dr. Pattabill, when we interviewed him during the Eastview game, when the new school opens here, it'll be a 5A school too. 3 5A schools in the same town, so that'll be very interesting. Coach, one more thing, and then we'll let you go. Talk about the sub-varsity kids.
Man, they're doing a great job. Those guys, we've got 1 loss on the sub-varsity group, and our JV Blue team lost to Lake Travis, one of the best 6As in the state. And that's our only blemish on our record on the JV and our JVs and freshman group. So, man, they're all fighting for district championship too, and it's coming around. Basketball tryouts this weekend. I talked to Coach, had to walk him through how that's going to go, because I said, man, we're not spraining ankles, because they're all fighting for a district championship, and I want them to do that. I think that's really important that we've got 5 teams where kids are playing and they're learning how to win, they're learning how to play together, and they have an opportunity to get 10, 20 games in before they have an opportunity to play on the varsity. So that's really important, I believe.
Well, and I think we're seeing that pay off this year.
Yeah, for sure.
With players that weren't on varsity last year, but have really, really stepped up and turned this team into a really good football team.
Absolutely.
Well, Coach, as always, we enjoy the visits and appreciate your time. And good luck Friday night.
Thank you, man.
Looking forward to the
ball
ball
game.
game.
Thank you, guys.
Folks,
Thank y'all.
Head coach Chuck Griffin, your Georgetown Eagles head coach. We'll be back with who are we going for first? Malachi here? Where's Malachi? All right. There he is. We'll interview Malachi Miller when we come back. Stick with us, folks. The Eagle Nation Coaches Show continues right after this.
At Mesquite Creek Outfitters, we bring community together in a casual environment to share the love of gear and apparel, great drinks, and friendship. Located at 704 South Austin Avenue in Georgetown, Mesquite Creek Outfitters is the place to enjoy our drinks and light food menu, shop our unique men's and women's apparel, and visit with friends and family. Visit the website at mesquitecreekoutfitters.com or stop by and say hello. MCO is proud to sponsor First Responders Broadcasting presentation of Georgetown Eagles football.
For an old-fashioned dining experience, visit Goldberger Diner on the square in Georgetown. When you walk into this 50-style diner, you'll be greeted with a smile and treated like family. Enjoy breakfast served anytime, or come for lunch or dinner and enjoy a great burger, chicken fried steak, old-fashioned liver and onions, or any of the great tasting food on our menu. Goldberger Diner is located at 109 West 7th Street in downtown Georgetown. Goldberger Diner, serving great food to great people.
And we welcome you back. Eagle Nation Coaching Show live from Camp Briteside. And, man, it is beautiful out here. This is a great facility, and we sure appreciate Camp Briteside and all the folks here for taking good care of us. We are now joined by number 13, senior linebacker, Malachi Miller. Malachi, thanks for joining us, man.
No problem.
Not that you had a whole lot of choice.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Coach came and said, hey, you're going to be interviewed tonight.
Yeah.
All right. Well, your overall thoughts about how this season's going?
I feel like we've been pretty productive throughout the season. Going undefeated in district. I feel like learning from Belton helped us a lot. Like, we can't go into the next game thinking that we're just going to beat them. One thing that Coach Griff says a lot is worry about the nameless, faceless opponent.
Right.
Next, like Eastview, we've always beat them, but I mean they're just the next opponent on the schedule. So yeah.
So last week, big win over Glen Grizzlies, 57-14 victory there, which secured that playoff spot. That's just one of those checks on that list. How did that game work out for you? What did you see from Glen, and how do you feel about last week's performance?
I feel like we played pretty good. We executed a lot. I feel like we came out slow in the on the first drive, but it's us going down there and them running the ball opened up our eyes and made us wake up. And every drive from there on out made us stop. So,
what's been the biggest challenge for you this season?
I would probably say staying healthy, just because like last game, I'd sprained my MCL like not too bad, but I sprained it. So this week in practice, I've been slowly coming back from that, and I'll be playing Friday. So.
All right,
Yeah.
that's important.
Yeah, just
playing on Friday, Holden.
Yeah.
So these past two games, Eastview and Glen, this Georgetown defense has allowed 0 third-down conversions in the first half. Is that a point of emphasis in the practices in the week in, week out, winning third down?
Yeah, Coach Laux, he's very hard on us. There's not a lot of there's not a lot of coaches that are going to be out there being hard on us like every single play. You could probably go to Eastview's practice or another high school's practice and see that their coaches aren't drilling them about every little thing. If one thing doesn't look right, he's going to make sure that he's on it. So I think like our practice is like very like we want to go for excellence. So I think it's what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, we're just trying to go for excellence. So
What do you feel like's been your biggest progress this season as far as your game?
I would say like getting used to playing varsity football. I didn't play last year, so I would say like just coming in the game with a mindset that like we're trying to win the game. I feel like my athletic abilities carries me throughout the game. So I feel like that's one of my progresses throughout the year. So
How different is it coming out of that locker room on a Friday night and walking through the stands and going through the tunnel and hearing 6, 8, 10,000 people?
It's different. Like the preparation is different. Last year, we'd go get our jerseys, go in the locker room, listen to our music and whatnot. But now it's just different. Like there's levels to it. So there's like different levels of preparation and everything like that. So, it's nice.
So going up to Lake Belton, play the Broncos this week. What you looking for?
I'm looking for a win. Trying to beat them. Then after we beat them, I'm looking forward to Cedar Park next week. So, yeah.
So if Malachi Miller's not on the football field, not on the practice field, not in the weight room, not at school, where do we find you?
If I'm not, I don't know, probably hanging out with friends, gaming, or fishing. I like fishing.
All right, bass fishing.
Yeah.
Outstanding. We could be friends. I love the bass fish. Any shout-outs before we let you go?
Shout out Caden, Xavier, Easton, Jesse, Jet. Shout out Coach Laux, Coach Colson. Yeah.
All right, folks. Number 13, Malachi Miller, senior linebacker on your Georgetown Eagles. Stick with us. When we come back, we'll be chatting with Jet Walker. Malachi, thanks for joining us, friend. Stick with us, folks. Eagle Nation Coaches Show will return right after this.
Visit Camp Briteside and enjoy great food and drinks in our rustic dining room or on the huge covered patio. Camp Briteside is not just great food and drinks, but unmatched atmosphere that includes outdoor games, a wiffle ball field, and an outdoor stage. Camp Briteside is located at 8701 Ranch Road 2338 Williams Drive, near Ronald Reagan Boulevard. Camp Briteside is the host of the Eagle Nation Coaches Show each Wednesday at 6 p.m. For food and fun like nowhere else in Georgetown, visit Camp Briteside and stay a while.
And we welcome you back to the Eagle Nation Coaches Show live from Camp Briteside, Georgetown, Texas. I'm Kelly Duvall, holding Tuma on my far right. And in the middle, some of you guys know this guy, a fella named Jet Walker, number 28, senior running back for your Georgetown Eagles. Jet, thanks for joining us, man.
Of course.
So, talk about the season. A little bit frustrating at the beginning, huh? A little not on the field as much as you wanted.
Yeah, I wasn't seeing the field as much as I wanted, but I knew the guys behind me, they do a good job of, filling my place when I'm not in the game. So I trust them and I trust the team to, go out there and get wins.
So how many conversations did you finally have to get on the field as much as you wanted to? Was it you? Was it a combination?
No, it was kind of just me. I was struggling with a few things at the beginning of the season, but, we got them figured out with our athletic training staff. And so I got back out there, and now we're rolling.
So great game last week that you had. What was it about what Glenn was giving to y'all that gave y'all the ability to run the ball so well?
Well, we came in the game knowing that they kind of wanted to stop the run because we against Eastview ran the ball a lot. So, when we came in, we knew that we were going to have to throw the ball a little bit because they were going to be stacking the box. So, we started throwing the ball and getting the ball in the open field. And so they started, backing off. And so that's when we started running the ball. And as you can see, Weston Stewart, Zach, and me, we all got some big runs Friday night.
The three of you guys is so amazing. I don't even know how many games we've had this season where we've had multiple 100-yard running backs in these games. I know there's been a couple of them, but you guys sharing the load, toting the rock, how's that gone this season? Has it been a surprise to you, or did you see that coming?
No, it hasn't been a surprise. I mean, even through spring ball, you could tell that those guys, they had talent and that they were going to perform this season at a high level. So, it was just a matter of time before, the first game got here, and we were giving them the rock, and they were making plays.
What's it been like for you and Xavier as like the senior leaders of this offense, just coming into this senior year with also the goals that you had coming off of last season? What's it been like for you two, you think?
It's been good. We were put in that role so we could lead those other guys on the offense, but another guy who's really taking lead to the team is Caden Shear on that offensive line. We got some younger guys on there and some newer guys, but he's done a great job at getting those guys locked in and getting them riled up for the games.
Jet, with the way the season is gone, you're starting to get your legs under you, figuratively and literally speaking.
Yes, sir. Getting
your legs under you. As this team starts to push forward, has there been anything about this team that has surprised you as a very integral part of this team for several years now?
The thing about this team is that, we keep improving each week. Kind of last year, we had a great offense, and we kind of knew what we could do, at the beginning of the season. But this season, there's no telling where offense will take us. Just because, every game we just keep improving.
Right. At the beginning of the year, the coaches talked about it. We talked about it. A lot of folks talking about it. Didn't have a whole lot of experience coming back, but they have really started to gel now. I think those first 3 games before district started were really good learning processes, including that loss to Belton. How have you seen that progress grow, especially with those front 5?
We started off, a little iffy, and part of that is just chemistry. We talk a lot about that, chemistry in the O-line with just your call-outs. And so I guess, getting to these later games in the season, their chemistry is getting better, and it's going to continue to get better, and we're going to, be able to dominate more teams up front.
So, committed to West Virginia. I'm sure there's still people calling. How's that going? Is it annoying? Are you good with it? What's happening with that?
It's going good, but during the season I try not to let it bother me because we have a task at hand and we got to handle business every Friday night.
Well, good. Jet, we appreciate you joining us.
Sir.
Again, not like you had a whole lot of choice.
Yes,
back with us again. Always appreciate you, Jet. Folks, number 28, Jet Walker, senior running back for your Georgetown Eagles. Stick with us. We'll have trivia when we come back. Eagle Nation Coaches Show continues right after this.
Visit Camp Briteside and enjoy great food and drinks in our rustic dining room or on the huge covered patio. Camp Briteside is not just great food and drinks, but unmatched atmosphere that includes outdoor games, a wiffle ball field, and outdoor stage. Camp Briteside is located at 8701 Ranch Road 2338 Williams Drive, near Ronald Reagan Boulevard. Camp Briteside is the host of the Eagle Nation Coaches Show each Wednesday at 6 p.m. For food and fun like nowhere else in Georgetown, visit Camp Briteside and stay a while. The Golden Rule is located at 606.
Little technical mix up there on the music. We're going to let you guys scoot in this way so everybody can see your faces. We've got trivia night, and Holden is going to be reading the questions. But before we do that, start on this side, pass the mic, introduce yourselves, let folks know who the brains are in this outfit.
I'm Jesse Espinoza, number 36. I play defensive tackle.
Malachi Miller, number 13. I play linebacker.
Liam Nelson, number 23, and I play safety.
Jackson Bates, number 24, safety.
Caleb McDougal, number 12, quarterback.
Caleb Hennessy, number 55, offensive guard.
AJ Gonzalez, number 77.
Jet, number 28, running back.
All right, so I'm going to step out so that I'm not in the way and you guys can scoot in a little bit closer. And I'll tell you what, I'll give y'all my headset and y'all can have this headset and talk into it because we forgot the regular microphone. Holden, it is NFL stats. NFL stats. So couple of them kind of difficult.
Okay. Question number 1. All right. Question number 1. Who holds the career lead for all-time Associated Press MVP awards? The MVP. Who has as many MVPs?
Is it Aaron Rodgers?
It's not Aaron Rodgers.
Tom Brady.
That is not Tom Brady.
Peyton Manning?
Joe Montana? It's not Joe Montana. Most MVPs, NFL history.
Yeah, is it Peyton Manning?
It is Peyton Manning with 5. 5 MVPs for Peyton Manning. Number 2. What quarterback has been sacked the most times in NFL history?
I know. It's he played for the Fitzpatrick.
It is not Ryan Fitzpatrick.
What? He's not Fitzpatrick. That's the best guess I could have.
Joe Flacco?
It is not Joe Flacco. Going the other way. Eli Manning? It is not Eli Manning.
Peyton Manning.
It's their turn to ask. They start naming quarterbacks. Do I need to give him a hint? He's still playing.
Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers.
It is Aaron Rodgers. 583 times he's been sacked.
Wait, what?
583 times he's been sacked. Question number 3. Who is the all-time sacks leader?
From New York, guys. Come on.
You raised your hand.
You raised your hand. Say the answer.
Who is the all-time NFL sacks leader? If both of y'all miss, I'll give y'all a hint.
Lawrence Taylor?
That's not Lawrence Taylor.
Is it Reggie White?
It's not Reggie White. He played for the Buffalo Bills. He was a Buffalo Bill. Yes.
I'm the only one that's got one right.
Buffalo Bills. He had 200 NFL sacks.
Oh, no, that's the most.
Is it an attribute? They're up, yeah.
Bruce
Oh, we
Smith.
got a shout out from the crowd. Yeah, Bruce Smith is their answer. Yeah, so nobody gets a point there. That's a point for the crowd. Yeah, 1-1-1. Okay, question number 4. This should be easy. Who is the all-time NFL rushing yard leader?
Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith.
It is Emmitt Smith. That's a 2-1 lead. Final question. What NFL kicker is the only kicker to have made 5 field goals over 60-plus yards?
Yeah, Justin Tucker.
It is not Justin Tucker.
Is it Brandon Aubrey?
It is Brandon Aubrey. So that is a tie. That's 2-2-1.
That was 58 yards. He's the best player on the Cowboys, if you didn't know. Okay, so to break the tie.
Shut up.
Who is the second NFL all-time leading rusher?
LaDainian
Ooh.
Tomlinson.
Adrian Peterson.
I don't know this one.
Is it LaDainian Tomlinson?
Barry Sanders.
Who is second place all-time NFL leading rusher?
Oh, Jim Brown. Jim Brown.
O.J. Simpson.
Ooh. He was good for like 2 years.
Walter Payton.
Walter Payton.
He's not letting him pick. Yeah. All right, great job. So offense takes this one. I don't even know what the tally is now. Who's leading overall?
I think it's tied now. I think
Okay.
the offense was tied it up.
All right, 4-4. All right, Wally will pick the next topic. I have no idea what that's going to be, so that should be very interesting. Before we take one more break, come back and talk to Jeremy McDougal, I do want to let folks know every week we have the G-Town Breakdown with Holden Toomey. He looks back at the previous week's game and then looks forward to the upcoming game. Very, very interesting, and Holden does a really, really good job with that. So check out the G-Town Breakdown with Holden Toomey on the SHN Sports YouTube channel every week, usually up Monday or Tuesday, sometimes as late as Wednesday. But once we got into a groove of getting those going, then we got those up there. One more break, and then we will come back and talk with Jeremy McDougal. Stick with us, folks. Eagle Nation Coaches Show continues right after this.
Visit Camp Briteside and enjoy great food and drinks in our rustic dining room or on the huge covered patio. Camp Briteside is not just great food and drinks, but unmatched atmosphere that includes outdoor games, a wiffle ball field, and outdoor stage. Camp Briteside is located at 8701 Ranch Road, 2338 Williams Drive, near Ronald Reagan Boulevard. Camp Briteside is the host of the Eagle Nation Coaches Show each Wednesday at 6 p.m. For food and fun like nowhere else in Georgetown, visit Camp Briteside and stay a while.
And we welcome you back. Eagle Nation Coaching Show live from Camp Briteside. We are joined by Jeremy McDougal, president of the Booster Club. Jeremy, how are you, man?
Man, I'm good.
Good. What's happening with the Booster Club?
Well, right now, it's kind of the same old, but, obviously we have the Coaches Show, this week and next week on Wednesday. Would love to have more parents out here. We got several varsity parents, but even JV freshman parents, we'd love to come out, and even some of the JV freshman players come out and hang out with the older boys.
And the food's always awesome.
And the food is awesome. Brightside is awesome.
Yeah.
And they put it all out for the boys, and they get after it. So, but yeah, big game Friday night in Belton.
Big game. Looking forward to that, and can start checking off some more stuff off those boxes with a win. What is happening with the Booster Club? You got anything special coming up? Need help? What you need?
No, the biggest deal is tailgate Friday night.
Yep.
The Commonwealth, Texas. It's up there in Belton. Start about 5:30. Come by and join us, fellowship before we go over to the game and cheer the boys on. The other thing is be looking for playoff shirts to be put up on pre-sale. They will only be available on pre-sale. And it'll be a pretty short period, a week or two, so just make sure that, you get on there and get your shirt ordered, and we'll get it here.
So folks can go to georgetownfootball.com.
Yes, sir.
And pre-order the playoff shirts. Do that, and that money goes to good use because that money not only helps the varsity teams, it helps even down to the middle school teams.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely. And honestly, for the most part, everything that we're doing now, we're building for next year, and anything we need during the playoffs, we'll use. But for the most part, we're building for the future. Most everything that we're doing now, fundraising, everything is going to benefit the younger guys, juniors, sophomores, freshmen, 8th graders, 7th graders, all the way down.
It takes so much work. I was on the board for the football boosters when I was in. When my son was in. Yeah. Be careful what you wish for. When my son was playing at Georgetown, I was on that board. It takes so much work. Explain to the folks why you guys are asking for help and volunteers.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it does. It takes a lot. I mean, we got 200 and something kids that we're trying to, help the coaches, deal with, take care of everything that they need, any cost, anything, give them the best team room, field house, anything that we can give them. That's what we're trying to do. And it takes a lot. The biggest deal. And if you're on the email list, you should have already seen it. If you're on the sports youth, you already seen it. Some of the group me's, you should have already seen it. But we need volunteers for merchandise and concessions every week. We're running into that time of the season where we had a lot early in the year, and now it's the same people over and over and over. And we got 250 kids in the program, and we have about 10 to 15 parents that are doing it all.
Right.
So
it was one of the pleas that we had to make, and it seems like one of those pleas every year. Sub-varsity parents, even if you're not involved, if you don't have a kid involved in the football program, the senior parents and the junior parents, the kids who are playing varsity naturally want to sit in the stands and watch their kids play. So it's a good opportunity for the sub-varsity parents and anybody that just wants to help out to get involved.
Yeah, it could be anybody. You don't even have to have a kid playing. If you just hear about it, or, if you have a kid playing and you can't get there, but you got a neighbor that would love to come help us out and support, that'd be great.
So when we need to mute Kelly in the games, we can just send him down to the concession stand.
Well, 100%.
There we go.
That'll
okay.
work. That'll work.
Or I can just throw Holden over the rail down to the concession stand. So.
Yeah.
Thoughts on this game Friday?
Man, we'll see. We're going to get after it. You never know till the lights come on, the ball kicks off. But we got a lot of faith in our boys and the coaching staff, and I'm sure it'll be a good night.
You're growing accustomed to it now, but last year Caleb taking over the reins as a sophomore, now as a junior running this football team, or running the offensive side of this football team. What's that like seeing your kid perform at such a high level?
It's awesome. It's what you hope for, I mean, honestly, just to be out there under the Friday night lights, and doing whatever it takes. The one thing, I talk to him about a lot, and I know Coach Griffin's talked to him about it a lot, but, it's do your job and get the ball where it goes and don't do too much and just have fun. And he does a pretty good job of that.
Well, it's fun watching him. It's fun watching all these kids on this football team. So I guess we'll see you Friday night.
Yes, sir.
Looking forward to it.
Yes, sir.
Folks, Jeremy McDougal, president of the Booster Club. We will take one more quick break, and then we will be back to wrap it up here from Camp Briteside. This is First Responder Broadcasting's presentation of the Eagle Nation Coaches Show, only on the SHN Sports YouTube channel. Stick with us. One quick break. We'll be right back.
Visit Camp Briteside and enjoy great food and drinks in our rustic dining room or on the huge covered patio. Camp Briteside is not just great food and drinks, but unmatched atmosphere that includes outdoor games, a wiffle ball field, and outdoor stage. Camp Briteside is located at 8701 Ranch Road 2338 Williams Drive, near Ronald Reagan Boulevard. Camp Briteside is the host of the Eagle Nation Coaches Show each Wednesday at 6 p.m. For food and fun like nowhere else in Georgetown, visit Camp Briteside and stay a while.
And we welcome you back for the final time tonight to the Eagle Nation Coaches Show, live from Camp Briteside. Thanks to everybody that came out tonight. We greatly appreciate it. This is really boring out here when nobody's here. So we thank you for coming, and thank you for being a part of the show as always. Holden, final thoughts before we wrap it up.
It's a great time out here. I mean, Camp Briteside's a great place. Fall weather, finally. It was a little chilly. We're in the sweaters. I was very tired of the 90-degree 8 o'clock kicks, but, we're back into really football weather.
Yeah, and excited for it. Looking forward to it. Folks, we also want to remind you that there will be volleyball tomorrow night. I forgot who Georgetown's playing, but they're playing somebody, and Wally will – Friday night. All right, so Wally will not be broadcasting that on Friday night. He has another engagement there, but the Lady Eagles are really doing some good things. Basketball is going to be kicking off before too terribly long, so – keep an eye out and support these athletes at Georgetown High School. Friday night, we will be broadcasting live from Tiger Stadium in Belton, Texas. Pre-game show will start at 6:15-ish. No promises, because we're probably setting up in the stands Friday. So not the best press box in Belton, but great time and a good night for an Eagle win. So I vote for that. Pregame will start at 6:15-ish, and then kickoff is at 7 o'clock. We appreciate everybody being here, and thank you so much for joining us. Wally will be back on the microphone Friday night, and then he'll be back here for the Eagle Nation Coaches Show next Wednesday as well. We miss you, Wally, but a well-deserved break, and we love you, buddy. So, and all that you do, not only for us, but for Georgetown High School athletics as well. So, folks, thanks again for joining us, and we will see you Friday night in Belton as the Georgetown Eagles take on the Lake Belton Broncos. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night.